I had a friend of mine who decided to run for mayor. It was a new town. They created a new town, and my friend Joe decided that he wanted to run for mayor. And there was another person who had kind of been handpicked by the parties to be the mayor, but Joe decided to challenge him. And so what happened was Joe and I had to start coming up with ideas and ways to help Joe become the mayor. And one of those ideas was, I said, Joe, why don't you get in the car with me and we'll ride around on the weekends and I'll introduce you to the people that I know that maybe you don't know. So we did this thing, I kind of call it visiting. And we started going to people's house and I would knock and I'd say, hey, Jim and Jill, this is Joe and Joe's running for mayor and I'd love for you to meet him. And so they would have a conversation. Then Joe started having little functions, or we would ask these people to have parties in their neighborhood to introduce Joe to the rest of the people in the neighborhood. And they would have these parties and I would get invited to these parties. Now all of a sudden I'm meeting my friends who were having the party have invited 15, 20 other people in the neighborhood. And now I get to meet them people one-on-one. My friends introducing me to all of these people. And they're all meeting Joe and Joe gives a little speech. We did 10 or 15 of these, and the amount of people that I knew in my local neighborhood exploded, or in my community exploded, because I was meeting people at all these parties. But it was because of politics that people were having these parties and I was getting to meet these people, and I went, this is good. And so then another friend of mine was running, and I decided to give this friend of mine $100. Next thing I know, they're inviting me to all these parties they're having. I'm starting to go to more parties, meeting more people. And then Joe came up with the idea, why don't we get my tractor and my trailer, and why don't we kind of create a hay ride, and we'll go into these neighborhoods on the weekends, and we'll let the kids ride on the tractor and stuff, and maybe the parents will come out and they'll give me a chance to meet people. So we started doing hay rides in different neighborhoods, and all of a sudden all these people are coming out of their houses, their kids are jumping on the trailer, we're getting to have a conversation with them. I'm having a conversation because I say, hey, I want you to meet my friend Joe, he's running for mayor. So it's just the amount of people in my local community that I was able to meet through politics absolutely blew me away. And then I started contributing to people that were running for county commissioner or state senate or state rep, and we started having more and more parties and going to more and more functions. And what I realized was, if you're running for office, it's your job to meet as many people as you possibly can. If you had a business, would you go door to door and knock on somebody's door and say, hey, will you come do a mortgage with me? Or will you come buy shoes from me at my shoe store? Or, can I paint your house? You probably wouldn't do that. But what happens is that same person decides to run for city council, and they start going around neighborhoods and knocking on doors, asking people for their vote. It's amazing how people won't go ask for business, but they'll walk around and ask for your vote. If you get to where you're helping people do that, and you're helping them put out signs, and you're helping them call people through food bank, the opportunity to meet people in your community is off the chart. Then what's the sidebar to that is, a lot of those people that those politicians need to meet are people that they know are fairly wealthy in the community, because those are the people who give larger contributions to help their campaign. So they really want to know the movers and shakers, the people that own businesses, the people that are influential in the community. And if you're associated with that politician, you're going to get to meet those influencers in your community. It's the easiest, best way I know to meet people of influence is through politics. If you have an inkling that there's somebody that you really like, and city politics probably is the best way to get started, because it's usually nonpartisan. It's not Republican or Democrat or independent. So it's really about, do I like this person, and do I think their interest and my interest align and what they want to do with my city? Start there, and you can kind of see how it works, and you can start meeting a lot of really cool people. So think about politics, think about giving a little bit of money to somebody, thinking about helping that person, introducing them to your people, having them introduce you to the people that they know. If you get involved with that, you'll feel better. You'll have a better sense of what's going on in your community, but you'll also meet a tremendous amount of people that you would have never had the opportunity to meet. So I highly recommend that you do that. I want to know what you think. I want to know if there's other ideas like these that you think are really cool and I need to know about. So go to my link tree. You can give me a call. You can send me an email. I'd love to hear from you. Hope you enjoyed this video.